All right, looks like we got everybody in kind of synchronized tonight. Our friends on Facebook Live and our friends on Twitter and YouTube Live all coming in right about the same time. So happy Monday to you, everybody out there. Do we get it out of the way? The obligatory, man, it's a real hot start to the week here in West Texas. It's July 17th. Breaking news. It has a tendency to be really hot this time of year. All right, so let's just dispense with that, stop that talk right in its tracks, and get on down the road. It is Monday. We hand out Raiderland Helmet Stickers. I liked it so much last week when we asked the question, what's underrated this week? I think we're going to ask that every week. For now, we're going to do it on Monday. It may change days. All right, you guys watching on Twitter, on YouTube Live, you use the text line to get in, 806-772-0197. Everybody else, like Craig, like Damon, on Facebook Live, use the say something box and start to type it. Indeed, the talking box is on. Product placement there. Let a few more folks get in tonight. You guys know the drill. The early arrivals, you give us hearts, you give us thumbs up, you let us know the audio is good, the video is good. You do that, then you just go ahead and share it. Put it out there. People know what we're doing. We're hanging out. So make sure if you are on Twitter and YouTube, use the Raiderland text line, though, to comment, 806-772-0197. So you there, Chris there? I think we got enough to get going. You guys can, by the way, invite people in. Like I said, share it, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you're on. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. Everything we do, including our 5 things we know in a Sunday column, which if you miss it, you can go back and read it and comment. Waiting for you there. We are start the day with you there at theraiderland.com. Usually hit you with the question of the day. You guys can answer those, and we'll start featuring some of the better responses here on the daily broadcast. Coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. Hopefully your air is not tropical tonight, but rather Arctic. If it is more tropical than Arctic, you need to call the bear. Callthebear.com. Also brought to you by Boot City. Now, a lot of the shirts we wear, including this one, you can find at Boot City, 7 mile outside the West Loop on 19th Street. Hey, if you have a hard time finding shoes for your kids and they wear Hey Dudes, they've got a good new supply, along with a whole lot of boots there at Boot City. So great sponsors in Raiderland. If you see them out and about, tell Cody and the crew thanks for being a part of what we do. Always good Red Raiders out there. We're also brought to you by Domino's Pizza on a Monday. Start the week off with a little Domino's Pizza. Get the app. If you haven't downloaded the app, you need it. You need that in your life. It will make your pizza buying experience even better and tastier. It tastes better when you order from the app. And if you're ordering for me, then just double pepperoni. That's all I ask. All right, let's get it rolling tonight. Who gets your Raiderland helmet stickers? We do this every Monday. Somebody in your life, somebody out there deserves a little recognition, sports or otherwise. Don't know who it is this week for you. I know who's going to get one for me, but you tell us who gets your Raiderland helmet sticker for doing some cool stuff, being amazing, some whatever. Doesn't really matter. We play fast and loose with the rules here. And then things that are underrated. Pretty simple. We began this last week, and I liked it, because last week was supposedly like the slowest sports week of the year. Major League Baseball All-Star game, you got all this downtime. Well, I don't believe that. I think we had a lot going on. There's always a lot going on. But we asked the question, since so many people in social media is built to dwell on negative, give me some positive stuff. What's underrated? RC on the website earlier today, theraiderland.com, handed out a helmet sticker to Peyton Manning for knocking it out of the park again with his Netflix show Quarterback. And then also underrated, a good suspension on your vehicle. I guess underappreciated is more accurate, though. It's one of those things you never think about until you're forced to think about it. Yeah, I am a big believer in the suspension. I'm driving a truck with not the highest suspension in the world. So basically, the mud rips off anything that is not important. If it's not important, it rips it off on the bottom, let the rough side drag, and off we go. So there's a couple of examples. I've not seen the Patrick Mahomes, it's not necessarily just Patrick Mahomes, but that Netflix series yet about quarterback. Heard it's pretty good. I know they showed scenes of him being in Lubbock with the Ring of Honor and type stuff. Hopefully they didn't make Lubbock look too hokey and too bad. You never know how they're going to portray West Texas. Did we get the obligatory tumbleweed shot? the brown fields, the vast sky, the no buildings over 2 stories tall. I wonder how they never know how it's going to be portrayed. Then sometimes it's portrayed like the movie The Buddy Holly Story with Gary Busey, and you've got the rolling hills outside of Lubbock with the forested trees. So many people in England and Germany. By the way, Buddy Holly, still huge in England and Germany. They still come here thinking that that's what West Texas looks like. The new quarterback show. The quarterback show really good. Mahomes' new house really nice. Yeah, I've seen the aerial footage. I know someone who may be going there, or might get to go there, or at least get close there, but I cannot divulge who they are. If you want to text in, if you're on Twitter and YouTube channel, we can't see your comments in real time. We use third-party streaming, so we can use multiple streaming platforms at the same time. That's why we have the Raiderland text line waiting for you, 806-772-0197. It's just like the radio show. Shows up that way. You can hand out your helmet stickers. Who deserves a little recognition? Tell us what's underrated on a Monday. We'll get to SEC Media Days. Greg Sankey. I mean, he is totally Pontius Pilate right now when it comes to just about everything. NIL, we didn't create this mess. I mean, these are the feds not doing their the dirty legislatures in Texas and Oklahoma and Florida, Georgia. These politics. But we love NIL. But we did. Hey, expansion? There are people saying that I could be in charge of expansion. I am not in charge of expansion and realignment. Other people are in charge of that. Now, we just merely update our mirror. I mean, it was some good stuff today. They've got it down to an art form in the SEC on all of that. I give a helmet sticker to Greg Sankey. What do you mean make a good politician? He's a politician. Brett Yormark is a politician. George Kliavkov is a bad politician. Roger Goodell is a politician. Rob Manfred is a politician. If you have one of those jobs, you are a de facto politician. Damon off Facebook Live. Helmet sticker to MTJ for putting woodshed whipping on everyone today. I didn't get a chance to watch today at all, but good to know Martrex doing nice work today. I don't have him anymore on my NASCAR fantasy team, but yeah, good. I truly flying blind on it today. Yeah, Manfred is not a good politician. How can anyone tell me how Larson did in Hammond? Fiduciary interest in that. There. All right, you guys can share this, spread it, put it out there, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you want to share it. If you haven't followed the YouTube channel, you need to. If you don't go to theraiderland.com, you need to. We got a cool podcast coming up later on tonight. It's going to drop. It's me and Don Williams. That's right, that Don Williams. The Williams Night Show rides again tonight. Every so often we get together, we collaborate. You stop, you listen. We will be doing that tonight. Later on this evening, you will have fresh Williams and Hyatt Show stuff for you. Going to have himself some of that big-ass lobster. That's a cool trophy. For those who don't know, you win New Hampshire, you get a live lobster. It's a live lobster? Live lobster. Get a big-ass lobster. Let's see. What else today? Dan Wetzel is stupid in his column on Yahoo Sports. Is it Yahoo? Where was he writing? I want to make sure I get it right. Where is the Yahoo writing? Yeah, Dan Wetzel on Yahoo. So he's covering SC Media Day, and he goes off on the NIL stuff, and he goes off on the politician, Greg Sankey, saying the politicians discriminate. And he has a complete gross misunderstanding of federalism, how it works, how state law operates, and how dare these states come in and act like they can make laws that supersede, like, would they make a law and tell a gardening club how to operate and what they can and can't do? That you can just tell groups of people that you have to follow our law and it doesn't matter what your club is or your business? Yeah, Greg. Every day. He gets so close to almost understanding how this stuff works. I'm going to read a portion of his column. You can read the whole thing. But he's talking about government overreach and political pandering and everything on how states are setting up basically laws based on Supreme Court rulings that, you know what, these are legal adults engaging in free enterprise, and they do have a right to their name, image, and likeness. And you know what? The NCAA can't come in and supersede our laws. You know why? They're laws. They're laws. They're not a. So Wetzel writing, dumb Wetzel, Dan Wetzel. Dan Wetzel. How did this is government overreach and political pandering to the extreme. Should state laws be written up to overrule how the local gardening club operates? Whether a golf club can require golfers to wear a collared shirt while playing? How about what a church should be allowed to preach? Should the NFL be allowed to prohibit players, coaches, and game officials from betting its games? Yeah. Yeah, every day. Every day, government sets up rules on how you operate your business, and you can't violate those rules, no matter what everybody in the club thinks. What if everybody in the club says, we don't like black people, they can't come in? Well, see, the government a long time ago said you can't do that. So that's bad. Man, those Jews, we can't have a bunch of Jews running around our gardening club. You know, the government kind of came in and said, hey, that's not real good. So dumb Wetzel, he almost gets there. He's making the point against him. And that's why I put on Twitter today about how you view sports media types intelligence. I'm telling you, we're surrounded by a lot of dumb people in the media, and they just get dumber and dumber because they have zero real world experience. They don't know anything. They don't learn anything. Even the ones that go to school, and I'm talking about like big J journalism schools, they don't learn anything there. Learning how to be a journalist is not learning how to be anything. It doesn't teach you anything about anything, cover anything that goes on in the real world. They're incredibly dumb. I should say ignorant. Insulated is another word. But yes, government, state governments, 50 incubators of democracy around the country make law every day that supersedes what any at-will organization you may belong to wants to do. It's not the start of the NCAA death, but it is just a continuance of the slow death of the NCAA. But guys like Wetzel, when they write these things, show a total and gross misunderstanding of how government actually functions and what it does, and how it operates off Supreme Court rulings and state Supreme Court rulings, federal courts, state courts. But they don't get that because they don't like it. In this case, they don't like it. Maybe some of them get it. They just don't like it. Larson third, Hamlin seventh. Yeah, got a chance there. So you hand out your helmet stickers today. Anyone and everyone deserving a little recognition. If you're with us on YouTube, if you're with us on Twitter, you use the text line 806-772-0197 to begin the conversation. Not a ton of tech stuff. Media days last week. We won't really get anything crazy. The August 3rd is the report date, and that's the local media day. So that's when they really get going out there. So we're going to be kind of in a little bit of a, all right, they're starting to trickle back into town. For those who left, almost all of them stay in town all the time. So there's not going to be a ton of Big 12 news that'll be parceled out. You've got to stretch out your Big 12 Media Day stuff. So that's why somebody was trying to get a story today. Brent Venables goes against Prime and Coach Sanders, and man, he gave his players when he came in at Oklahoma a year of grace. What the hell's that? Well, first off, Oklahoma wasn't a horrible football program when you got there, Brent. You didn't need to run off 50 people. In fact, you kind of made it worse. It was trending a little bad with Riley. I think he ended up, making it look like he was leading a parade there to USC instead of getting run out of town. But for Venables to come in and say, yeah, we did it the total opposite way. Well, why shouldn't you have? Whatever. But that's the kind of stuff we get stuck with now after Big 12 Media Days because there's nothing else going on. The Raiderland text line show 806-772-0197. Helmet sticker to McGuire's blazer last week. Yeah, the inner lining had the skull and crossbone and the crossed pirate swords. An homage or homage to Mike Leach. That one needs to be auctioned off too, by the way. They need to auction that off for charity of some sorts. Um, I was trying to think of like what a cool charity would be. A charity for fat girlfriends. That's what it should go to. It should go to fat girlfriends everywhere. There you go, Mike. Rest in peace. Helmet sticker to my wife. One, she's my wife, so she deserves a helmet sticker. I mean, I know I am the trophy husband. Make no mistake about it. But yesterday, so she watches Yellowstone. She's up on Yellowstone and got in on Yellowstone, all that stuff. And I didn't get into Yellowstone, but I have gotten into 1883, and Paramount's been redoing that. And on Sunday nights they parcel it out one a week, which is because that's about the most I've got time every week to watch an hour show. I got about that much time in me, so I've been caught up. Last night she binge watched with me the first 5 episodes of 1883. Now caught up. We'll watch the one that they showed last night, which is episode 6. Boring. What is it? Boring something. And but yeah, she gets home. I mean, she sat there. She watched all 5 of them. Caught up on it. Of course, I had to tell her. Of course, now spoiler alert. Now the Duttons don't make it all the way to Oregon on the Oregon Trail. Hey, Weston's watching. Ryan is watching. Ryan, great name. Thoughts on potential Legends Home Run Derby? Okay, well, cool. Yeah, why not? Are we replacing the current guys doing home run derby? We're just going to have the old guys do it? Because I like seeing guys throw out their back, see somebody, oh, well, he's not going to make it to the finals. That looks like a sciatic nerve acting up on him. Yeah, they're probably going to want to tranquilize him. That's a tough ending right there. Tough ending to that one. He is 77 years old, so we probably should have seen that coming. What's up to you? So yeah, I'm all in favor of old timers anything. Old timers anything a lot of times is better than the current players doing stuff when it comes to old timers games and everything. It's funny, I was going across some different stuff and I forgot I had this. So in like 1970, I don't know, 3 or 4, somewhere in through there, the Texas Rangers at the old Arlington Stadium had an old timers game. Well, how do you do that? Your team is only your franchise is only 2 years old. How do you have a Rangers old timers game? You bring in old timers from other teams. They had the old timers, basically the 60s Pirates and the 60s Yankees reenact the 1960 Ray Mazeroski home run, World Series. So they had the old Pirates and the old Yankees at Arlington Stadium. I'm thinking that's still pretty cool today. That might actually be better than a Rangers old timers game if you had Yankees old timers versus Red Sox old timers. But I had to laugh. I've got the program. I'll put a picture up maybe here pretty soon. It was kind of neat. Junior Griffey versus the world in home run derby. Yeah, I'm still betting on the kid 100%. Helmet stickers today. For those who watch Yellowstone and those who have watched 1883, which do you prefer? And now I got to go watch 1923 when it comes out. Because I still hadn't gotten into Yellowstone whatsoever, and I don't know that I will. I'll be good, I think, after 1923. But I don't know that I will get into Yellowstone whatsoever. It still strikes me as when they relaunched Dallas and the modern day, the show Dallas, and they did that. That's what it strikes me as. You can text in 806-772-0197. We had on helmet stickers. You tell us what's underrated today on a Monday. Things that are underappreciated, underrated to start the week, whatever that may be. Anything and everything. That too much stuff gets negative. Too much stuff gets blown up into the negative. Like, here's another example of that. What's the guy's name? Luke Combs, the country singer who has remade Fast Car, the Tracy Chapman song from the late 80s. Rip fan in Yellowstone, everyone else is so-so. All right. I'll take your word for it. So this country guy, I guess, has a huge hit with the Tracy Chapman song, Fast Car. And Talk about feeding the negative. The liberal media is sitting there going, this is horrible. I'm like, how could this be horrible? Well, she would have never had a country hit. She wasn't a country singer. So she wasn't a country singer. She did kind of college indie rock and kind of that stuff. And I mean, it'd be like the Washington Post doing stuff about why Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train didn't chart, and why country fans are just a bunch of redneck rubes, and well, somebody else did. Now, I've never heard of the Combs guy. Never heard of this guy. Literally, never heard of him until this thing about this fast car death. That's the example that we use of the media feeding the negative all the time. Well, we've got to beat that back. Gary's watching. Kelly's watching. Greetings to you. You guys watching on Twitter Live. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can text into the show on the Raiderland text line 806-772-0197 to get in. And the time we have. What else over the weekend? Don Williams, AJ, kind of updating some of the Southeast end zone renovations. And part of that, they announced a while back that they would relocate visitors' locker room, so it's going into the Northeast end zone to get them away from the student section a little bit. Not that that's really why; it's to create a more whatever down on the Southeast side. But okay, yeah, make it okay, not great. Don't spend a lot of money on it, and do the Hayden Fry deal and paint it pink, the soothing, non-aggressive pink color. What holy hell would come down on Texas Tech today if they did what Iowa did, what Hayden Fry did at the visitors' locker room in the 80s, 70s and 80s when he was the head coach at Iowa? He had them paint the visitors' locker room there at Iowa. What is that, Kinnick Stadium? Pink. I don't know if it's still that way. The deal was Fry. He was a borderline psychiatrist, psychologist, psychoanalyst, and that he'd read somewhere, about soothing colors. So he had them painted pink so the opposing team would be in a pink locker room. They wouldn't come out all fired up. There you go. How much hell would we get? Yeah, turn off the AC in the locker room. We got you some nice box fans. Thought Darius Rucker wasn't country as well for Hootie and the Blowfish League. Yeah, but he came out and he did country music. He wants to be a country guy. Wagon Wheel, not his, but we're getting rid of the David McWilliams tarp. No, I think the David McWilliams Memorial tarp will still probably be there if there's still that ramp. Now, I don't know that there's still going to be the ramp the way it's looking. So probably no need for a tarp because you're not going to have a ramp in that area. I don't believe so. If you do, it might be totally covered. Underrated is an R. Help me out there, you guys. Help me out there. When you text in, text in clearly. 806-772-0197 if you choose to use the Raiderland text line. Got you for a few more minutes. Helmet Sticker Monday. Who deserves a little recognition, sports or non-sports? Did Rory won the Scottish Open over the weekend? So until Phil had done it a while back, nobody had ever won the British and the Scottish Open. And now that's not a thing, I guess. It's sort of like winning the par 3 tournament at the Masters and then trying to win the Masters. So I guess, yeah. Aberg, not in the British Open, I don't believe. I don't think he is qualified for that. Underrated is an Arctic cold front, especially this time of year. Any little cold front would be underrated this time of year. Because you know what it is? Stay with me here, non-meteorologist. It's summer, and it's hot. Josh in the 3-hole tonight against a very good Rays pitcher. Rangers coming off the sweep of Cleveland. It's now time. The slow slide begins, right? This is when it starts for the Rangers. You fade the Rangers tonight against Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay was a slight favorite in this one. Minus 115 probably. I mean, just ever so slightly the favorite. Two teams that are very good in the first 5 this year, by the way, getting together. Yeah, this is when the slow fade begins for the Rangers, and that's okay. We're prepared. I'm prepared. It's all right. In fact, I kind of don't want them to be in a position here in the next week or so where they feel like they've got to give away something valuable just to try to make the playoffs this year. Don't do it. What did they decide to do with the double T? Don't know. They don't know. Ain't nobody saying. I don't know that they'll end up doing anything with it. That it was so mechanically unstable, hard to rig up, hard to do anything with. I don't know that it'll end up being really repurposed in any form or fashion. And if that be the case, that's all right. It served its time well. Text line available to you just like the radio show on the Raiderland text line. If you're on Twitter Live and YouTube, that's how we hear from you. 806-772-0197. Doughboy, I hope that's Doughboy and not Dog Boy, checking in for the first time in a long time here with my boy Ryan Hyatt on the Raiderland. Glad to be back. Glad you're back out there with us. One of the stalwarts there on the radio show. Unless it's actually a new one and it's Dog Boy instead of Doughboy. Yeah, the old double T scoreboard, love it. It's an icon. I'm glad that they are going to incorporate a modern version of that, obviously, in the south end zone. That's great. That's fantastic. Hopefully it'll live for another 40 years or so, 50 years, And I hope 50 years from now I'm still sitting here with you guys griping about what are they going to do with the second double T scoreboard? Hey, they ought to put it out by the spaceport. That's where they ought to put it. Put it by the damn spaceport so the folks coming back from Mars to watch the game can check it out. Yeah. It is Doughboy. Okay, just making sure. A few more minutes left. Don't forget, if you're not subscribing to the YouTube channel, you should, even if you watch this on Facebook or Twitter. And we'll have this on the website too, theraiderland.com. But a special edition Williams and Hyatt show coming up tonight. We'll drop that podcast for you. We're going to go down some memory lane stuff with Big 12 Media Days last week. Going to talk about the final days of the Southwest Conference. The last media tour ended in Lubbock in 1995. And then we'll talk about this year's team just a little bit as well. So you want to make sure you check that out, right? Did Secret Service ever investigate Williams and Hyatt show? Found nothing, I suspect. Okay, that's funny. Is there good rendering of what the finished product will look like completely done by first home game? No, not completely done by first home game. This will be an ongoing construction well through the season. Best ones you can get are on the website, texastech.com. And I actually was interviewed not by, and this was while the Williams Night Show was still going on, not by the Secret Service. I believe this was somebody doing work for the CIA and the spooks there, but a former employee at the radio station had gone into military intelligence, and they came and interviewed me at length. We did an hour-long sit-down, me and this fine gentleman. He was really cool. I interviewed him about half as much as he interviewed me, about anything and everything I knew about this young man who had worked for maybe 6 months with us. He'd been a producer, what we lovingly call a board op, wasn't a show host or anything like that. So don't be trying to figure out. Would not know. You would have to be one of the greatest all-time listeners to the Williams and Hyatt show to even recognize the name. And I'm not sure he even used his real name on the air. Anyhow, long story short, I mean, they were doing, I have no idea what he ended up doing, what his clearance ended up being. The guy could not tell me the why, but it was a thorough vetting. Now, this is for just one dude. But yeah, 11 days, Secret Service. Oh, we don't know who. We'll never know who brought in cocaine. What do you mean interview Hunter Biden? Well, it's not like he's ever done cocaine and is the president's son and would have been in the White House. Why would we talk to him? Yet they sit there for an hour with me on this guy. Yeah, so it's hasty. Hasty interview. Secret Service or CIA on hasty would be about 5 minutes. Texters getting on the text line. We're about to wrap this thing up, so you guys can watch the replay. 806-772-0197. My man, Mr. Jordan, doing any live shows in the fall? Yes, we will be doing live shows in the fall. We're doing a live show right now. I mean, live shows. We're doing live shows every day. You couldn't be texting in if I wasn't doing a live show right now. Hasty. In the public for us to hang out with you. I don't want to see you guys. Yeah, I don't want to be around you guys. I don't want you to see me in public. I don't want to see you in public. Actually, yes, we are working on putting together some things where at least once a week, hopefully, we'll be hanging out with you guys in person, in the round, in the live. In the live. Thanks for great sponsors. Domino's Pizza. Get you some Domino's pizza tonight, tomorrow, whenever. If you're in the Lubbock area when you order, hey, just tell them thanks for supporting Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. We appreciate it. Also by Boot City, one money saving mile outside the West Loop. I'm serious. If you are challenged to find Hey Dudes for either yourself or perhaps your kids, there you go. That's where you go. They've got it. And hard to find size. My son's got big feet, and they usually have sizes in the cool styles that he wants. Texter on the text line, what's in the cup today? They ain't paying me near enough money for me to tell you what's in that cup. They pay me enough money, I'll tell you what's in the cup. It is very smooth today, I'll tell you that. All right, we got to shut her down today. You guys check out the website, theraiderland.com. We archive everything we do there for you. If you and you can still get in and comment on daily questions, 5 things we know on a Sunday. If you didn't see that yesterday, go back and check it out. Add your comments, theraiderland.com. But we will drop a special Williams and Hyatt Show podcast later on tonight. I'll have it for you. We'll let you know on Twitter. And if you're not on our Facebook page, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, you need to do that as well. Albert, when my secrets clearance got grilled about large deposits in my name. First National. Congratulations. All right. In broadcast, yes, we will end the broadcast first with the Twitter and the YouTube folks.